and welcome back to the Dune Minute Podcast, your daily podcast, where we explore Dune 2021 by Frank Herbert, made into a movie by Denis Villeneuve.
You've got to stop doing this. This shit's pissing me off.
I am one of your hosts, Zach.
And I am a very frustrated John.
All right, John, we're back. To me, that intro is just little like pieces of Lego that I can put in whatever order I
You're
want.
just fucking doing it as quickly as you can in your head and trying to make it work. I hate when it's so inconsistent like that.
That's okay.
I mean, I know mine are inconsistent, but at least I try and follow
yours are
the
very,
same.
very regimented.
Yeah.
And I'm not like that, man. I'm loose, man. I flow in the wind, you know? Just kidding. I just have a hard time memorizing things. So we are not here to talk about my memory. We're here to talk about Dune.
Well, I mean, we are kind of talking about your memory.
That's true.
A little bit.
That's true.
But
I'd like to just jump into it today, man, because we got we're picking right back up where we left off from yesterday. We get the bombardment of the city. Yep. I have to imagine there's not much left of the city
by the giant gangrenous tumor ship.
The gangrenous tumor ship. Yep. And at the very end of the minute, it cut to a different scene. In this scene, I have a lot to talk about.
By all means, go ahead.
So we see Duncan Idaho pop up from cover.
Yep.
And he's looking over this like landing zone, big courtyard thing or whatever.
I couldn't tell if he was on a roof or if he was like coming up a ledge and he's like peeking over the ledge.
It looked like he was coming up over a ledge to me.
Okay.
Because he's like eye level with
but
stuff.
he looks like he's also kind of like army crawling, which is what made me think that he was up on a roof or something.
Coming upstairs. He's crawling upstairs to this platform.
Either way, point is he's being sneaky.
Yep.
Trying to, stay alive.
Yeah, exactly. So he eyes this ornithopter and there's, a handful of guards around it. I didn't count exactly how many, but I'm sure you did. So go ahead.
There are 7.
Thank you.
And there are 4 more in the background.
4 more in the background. Okay. So this is a weird scene to me.
Okay.
So we cut from Duncan in a crouching position, looking over or looking at the guards.
Yeah.
And this is with the understanding that I think he's crawling upstairs and then looking at this platform.
Yeah.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going with this.
Okay. Then
because I have notes on this too.
The camera cuts to the guard over by the ornithopter, and Duncan jumps down from something behind him.
Yep. And that's what made me think that he's like kind of army crawling on top of like one of these like buildings or whatever.
I guess, but there's nothing for him to have jumped down from behind them.
Because the ornithopter's in the middle of this giant,
wide open. There's nothing around it.
Yeah.
So either he had to, I don't know. The only thing that I could possibly explain, or that could explain this, is that when we saw the fighting in the hallway earlier, we saw Duncan use his like little personal suspensor field and do like a long, slow jump.
Okay.
To the guard. Now he could have used that.
But he would have easily been seen.
Yes, that is such a long process.
Yeah.
That it makes no sense that, God, I don't know. It was just like such a Monty Python-esque, like, oh, he's here now.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I have notes on all of this too. So I'm glad that you and I are on the same wavelength.
It took me out of the movie for a second.
Yeah.
Not when I watched it the first couple of times. I was just like, hey, Duncan Idaho's here. But when we're, analyzing it in this manner, it's just like, it really took me out. So I don't know if there was a cut scene or something before this. I don't know. Your roof theory is interesting though, because say he was on the roof, kind of at the perimeter of this courtyard.
Yeah.
He could have did his like slow jump from a better vantage point
with his suspensor field kind of thing.
And then just like gone over them way out of their eyesight and then drop straight down.
That's my headcanon.
That could be it. That is the only possible way that I can think this would work.
But it's so Monty Python, so just like
the guard running towards the castle for 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden he's just there.
Yeah. Shout out to John Cleese.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It wasn't the guard running towards the castle. It was Sir Lancelot.
That's right. Sorry.
Get it right.
It has been a very long time since I've seen that movie.
We should do a Holy Grail minute.
No. Maybe we'll see. We have a lot. We have a lot of these to get.
We have
through.
a lot of Dune. Yes.
All right.
Also,
anyway,
I would not be surprised if someone else has already done a Holy Grail minute.
Maybe so. So I guess, anyways, regardless of how he gets there, Duncan pops up and just absolutely murks these guys.
Yeah.
Just with ease, he takes them out. I did not see a single shield.
Nope.
Which is crazy.
What is it with these people not having their fucking shields on, dude?
I don't know. Like,
it's
we know it slows them down.
The Harkonnens are probably like full of like hubris and shit, and they're just like, oh yeah, no, we got this in the bag. We don't need fucking shields. And then it's just like, motherfucker, y'all getting your ass beat by this one guy.
Yeah.
So of the 7 guards, Duncan kills 4 and like murders the shit out of 4 of them
so easily.
And then he says one of my favorite lines in the movie, and basically like rolls a nat 20 on an intimidation check.
That is a D&D reference.
It is. You don't play D&D.
I'm getting it though.
Yep.
We're getting there.
You're getting there. I'm proud of you. When he just yells at them, to hell, dogs. Now, we talked about how there's 7 immediately around the ornithopter, and then there's 4 in the background. The 4 in the background are not moving. They're not even like trying to help.
They're like, nah.
They're just around a bunch of dead bodies, which of what I would assume are Atreides soldiers.
Sure.
But yeah, just that yell that Jason Momoa does, like, I'm not even gonna try it because like he's got that deep growly kind of voice.
You just tried it.
But the way that he yells to hell, dogs is so fucking cool.
He like clangs his swords together. And they're just like, okay, we're done. You can have it.
This is yours, man.
You can have it.
Once again, this is a Harkonnen ornithopter.
Yep.
This is not an Atreides one, because while it still has the super angular windows up front, everything else around it just looks like a giant fat armadillo.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
God, I've never sounded more southern in my life than when I said
armadillo.
Armadillo. Jesus.
Surprisingly, or maybe unsurprisingly, I don't know. He knows how to fly this thing.
I imagine the controls are pretty much universal.
Yeah. I mean, probably.
But also, he's one of the best
enough.
pilots in the Imperium too.
That's fair.
So,
like, I guess that makes sense. Like, if you are a pilot, a private pilot or something like that, like if you could fly like a Cessna 172 or something like that, small little plane, you can pretty much get into any plane of that class, and it doesn't take very long for you to understand how to fly it.
I mean, the controls of a Cessna are the same as you would find on like a F-16. So like,
yeah,
look, you just have the fucking stick and you just fucking go.
Independence Day taught us that, where they recruit crop dusters to fly fighter jets, and with minimal training, they are going into combat. So yeah, I guess your theory's correct.
I just want to make it known that I absolutely know that there's a massive difference between a Cessna and a fighter plane. Jokes.
So he gets in this ornithopter, takes off, and as soon as he is like over the precipice of whatever ledge is above him, he just unleashes a huge barrage of missiles onto the ships that are that he sees in the distance there, and I think all of his shots land.
And none of those ships have their fucking shields on either.
They don't. Well,
but
I know why. I think I know why for this.
Okay.
So these are most likely troop carriers.
They are
transports.
Yeah, they're the giant like puffy ships.
Okay. We know that people cannot pass through shields.
Okay, then that makes sense.
So they would have to have taken their shields down.
This is the one instance where not having the shield on is acceptable.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But you know who does have the shield on?
Duncan.
Yep. Because one of the troop carriers does shoot back, and he does get hit with a missile.
Yep.
But the shield, thankfully absorbs it. But as we've seen other times physics still exists, inertia still exists, and it does kind of jostle his ornithopter around. And by jostle his ornithopter I mean it like knocks the shit out of his ornithopter.
Doesn't destroy it though, which is important.
Doesn't. He's still flying. He's still good. So yeah, we definitely have like sirens and shit going off in the cabin and everything, and we see like his instrument panels kind of lighting up for a moment.
Yeah,
and then we're right back out,
and he is hightailing it out of there. And what do we get? Probably one of my favorite like scenes in this stretch of minutes. We get a laser gun from the ship in orbit, or not in orbit, like flying above the city. I guess presumably that same tumorous ship, maybe
gangrenous tumor ship.
Gangrenous tumor. Thank you.
The GT ship.
I would assume it's also from that.
It is.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we get a laser gun being fired, which is the first laser gun that we've seen since the opening scenes of the movie.
Yep, we get the laser gun chase sequence.
Yeah,
I imagine that there's just some dude sitting at a control panel in the ship, just fucking with his own joystick. Just
it's got to be. Quick refresher on laser guns, since we have not talked about them in a long time. 85 minutes. Yeah. So it's been a long
like
time. It is short for laser gun. If you didn't,
Whoa.
I know, it's super imaginative. It is a focused energy weapon that is used throughout the Imperium. Not so much in combat situations like this, because if a laser gun interacts with a shield, like we know that Duncan's ship has, it causes a nuclear explosion. And
I'm sorry, a what explosion?
Oh, God, did I say it wrong?
Yeah.
Nuclear.
There we go.
Okay.
Chill out, George W. Bush.
I don't know. I always knew that he got made fun of for saying that word wrong, but I was like, it sounds right to me.
It's nuclear.
Because
you have the nucleus of an atom.
Well, I know that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's not the nucleus of an atom, so nuclear.
Okay.
Leave all of that in.
Okay. Anyways, the interaction between a laser gun and a nuclear. Fuck. The interaction between a laser gun and a shield causes a nuclear explosion.
Yeah.
That is a big fucking deal. So they don't really go into explaining that in the movie, but knowing that little tidbit information and just seeing a laser gun is being fired at Duncan as he's flying through the city, like the streets of the city. And he's got his shield on. And so like we come that close to a massive nuclear explosion, so many times throughout this like sequence. So it's crazy.
So we also see what happens when you fly an ornithopter a little too close to a building, in this scene as well, because like we see Duncan kind of zigzagging his way between, different buildings and stuff and some of the lower like market canopies and everything. I don't know if you know this, ornithopter wings move incredibly fast. Yeah. And when you have that much energy in the air, it's explosive. Like it's like it produces so much energy that like as he flies by some of the buildings, you see the buildings, like the sides of the buildings just like explode and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Because of just like the amount of force that's being, pressed into the atmosphere by those wings and stuff. So we see that a little bit as well too.
Yeah, I missed that, but that makes sense.
Yep. And then we get like
that laser is mowing through these buildings.
Yeah.
Like it is nothing. It's a super impressive like flight chase scene. Yeah, I love it.
I have fun facts about this scene.
Go for
it. So from the Art and Soul of Dune, part 1, they actually talk about how this scene was cut in super late into post-production. And they just kind of wanted to show off a little bit more about, the city from a ground level and everything, and show the design of the city and how it was kind of carved into the rock face and everything to kind of keep everything cool. And that rock face ended up being something that helped save Duncan, Idaho, because we then see him do this super cool sequence where he just goes into that giant circular, market area and does this super cool, like, whip around 360 thing. And then our minute ends right as that laser gun penetrates the wall. Yeah. Right behind where Duncan is. Yep. In this moment.
Oh, it's so cool. It is such a cool flight scene.
Yeah. I mean, it really shows Duncan's ability to, like, be one of the best pilots and, fly under this amount of pressure and evade the laser gun on a millisecond amount of, like, reaction time. Yep. So.
Yeah, it's really cool. Cool. Any other notes on this minute?
Nothing really. I mean, the only thing that I had was just that it was a super late post-production scene that ended up getting added in. I think it's cool because it's one of Duncan's few moments to, like, really shine as a character in this movie. So,
yeah. The only other thing that I had for it is kind of a book tie-in, kind of where we are in the book.
Sure.
This scene, unfortunately, does not exist in the books. 98% does not exist in the books.
Yeah.
It is alluded to, but not like this detail of him flying around, of evading laser guns and all that kind of stuff. None of that's in there. So if you'll indulge me a second, I have a reading.
By all means.
Okay. This is the Baron to Piter. What of the missing Thopter? Does that suggest anything to you, my mentat? One of the Duke's men obviously escaped in it, my lord. Killed our pilot and escaped. Which of the Duke's men? It was a clean, silent killing, my lord. Hawat, perhaps? Maybe that Halleck one. Possibly Idaho. Or any top lieutenant. Possibilities, the Baron muttered. End of reading. That's the only, like,
they know that someone escaped, but they don't know who.
Yeah, that's the only we only get it alluded to in passing between them. So I don't know. They took that one little passage and made it into a much larger, exciting, like, kick-ass scene.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's an action sequence that we don't really see much action with ornithopters other than the one scene where Leto is in control to then swoop in to save the men from the harvester.
Yeah.
So to get another scene of ornithopter badassery,
it's great.
I'm here for it.
Yep. Love it.
Those poor harm mollusks.
Hey, the one inside that the ornithopter Duncan's got is kicking ass.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Well, that'll do it for this week. As always, if you'd like to reach out to us, we are on Instagram at The Dune Minute. We're on Twitter at Dune Minute, and you can send us a good old-fashioned email at theduneminute@gmail.com. If you're enjoying the show up until now, please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. It really does help spread the word so we can get more people into talking about this cool movie. And with that, we will be back tomorrow.
Yeah, and shout out to all of our listeners too, by the way. Y'all are pretty great, and just appreciate you spending some of your day, whether it's your morning commute or whatever, with us. And we'll be back with more tomorrow.
All right, cool. See ya.
See ya.